Tennessee.
How did your son pass away?
He was 5. He had a seizure in my arms. My life went empty. My world stopped. And that puts a lot of us homeless people in a bad situation. I get up every day and push 400 or 500 pounds of scrap metal, 2-3 miles of scrap yard just so I can eat and take care of myself. It says in the Bible, if a man don't work, he don't eat.
That's right.
I don't care who you are. I don't care how strong you are. You can be Donald Trump. I don't care who you are. You lose a child, it's going to devastate you. So when I was 18 and I went to the pen up in Maine State Prison, it was like a second home to me. We got a president right now that's been convicted of a felon who's turning this country around, but why is felons still being looked at? We all go through things, and a lot of people today, they need to remember one thing. Y'all are one paycheck away from being in my shoes.
That's right.
One paycheck away.
What's up, YouTube? Top Flight USA, back with another one. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right today. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. It's a beautiful day outside today.
Yes, sir, it is.
How you enjoying the weather?
Man, it's a blessing compared to the cold.
Right. That cold weather's something else, ain't it?
Yes, sir. I was out in the tent all winter this year, and it was a struggle. Thank God that I was blessed enough to have a little propane heater to stay warm, but I'm enjoying the hell out of this stuff.
Well, that's pretty good, man. A lot of people don't even have that.
No, it's 'cause a lot of people don't have a drive like some of us do.
Okay.
Some of us got drives that are harder than others because some people can't comprehend it. Some people got addictions, including myself. I've been in and out of addiction half my life.
Okay.
Been an addict since I was younger. I still struggle a little bit today with it, but I still try to put my priorities first. Heat, food, shelter.
That's important.
That's
very important. All right, well, let's start from the beginning. What's your name, age, and where you from?
I'm James McCoy. I am 36, and I'm from all over the East Coast. I was born and raised in Maine, and I just moved up here about a year ago from Florida.
Wow. I never met anybody from Maine.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
I was born and raised here until I was 16. And
wow.
When I was 32, right before my son died, I decided to go to college.
Sorry to hear about it.
I graduated college in 22.
Wow.
Over in Tennessee.
How did your son pass away?
He was 5. He had a seizure in my arms.
Oh, my goodness. Man, my nephew has seizures. That's a scary thing, man.
It is, man. It's why I am where I am today. I relapsed with addiction. I just graduated college. I was doing great and was working in a motorcycle shop. Some passed. I lost all my tools. And, man, I just fell apart. Addiction came. Means just weren't working, and now I'm struggling trying to get back on my feet.
Man, it's scary about those seizures. Like I was saying, my nephew has them, and we was told it's really nothing you can do about them. You got to kind of just let it pass by itself.
All you can do, the only thing I can do is roll my son on the side and try to keep him swallowing his tongue. Called EMS, and unfortunately, it was DOA on brought him to the hospital.
Man, I'm sorry to hear about that.
God takes his angels when he needs them.
That's right. How did that affect your life when that happened?
My life went empty. My world stopped. And I'm a good guy. I'm a good person. I got a good heart. But my world stopped that day. And I'm trying to get my world spinning again. And it's just hard when you got people out here looking down on you because you're homeless or because you can't get to a shower or because you got to go out and run scrap metal so that way you can eat that day instead of sitting here at Oak City for 8 hours trying to take a shower. You got to pick and choose your battles, man. But I get frowned upon it.
Right.
But you don't know my story. You don't know what I've been through.
That's right.
People are quick to judge on it.
Right.
And that puts a lot of us homeless people in a bad situation. I get up every day and push 400 or 500 pounds of scrap metal, 2-3 miles of scrap yard just so I can eat and take care of myself. But if I ask for help, I get ignored.
Right. And that's a lot of scrap metal.
It is.
How are you able to transport that much scrap metal?
A shopping cart and a flatbed cart on wheels.
Okay. And how much money are you looking at scrapping that metal?
Well, right now it's $9.40 per 100 pounds
Mm,
for shredded steel. Um, and I also pick up a lot of aluminum cans. I usually bring in 30 to 40 to 50 pounds of aluminum cans at the same time, and that's at 52 cents a pound.
okay. So what you're bringing in, how much work is that? Is that a day's work, a week's work?
It takes me, I start usually around 10 o'clock. I'm usually on my way to the scrapyard. I usually get there around 3:30.
Okay.
So it takes me a good portion of my day.
And a good day, you want to make about $100.
The best day I've had so far is $67.
$67. Wow. That's a lot of work for $67. That's pretty good though. Cause a lot of people won't even get nowhere near that.
Well, my problem is I lost my ID I lost my wallet when I went to a job interview, so I lost my ID, and I've got nothing here in North Carolina. My last ID was out of Florida, so my birth certificate's out of Maine, and I'm having a hard time getting help, getting access to all this because I have no forms of ID. So at this point, I've got it's fight or flight, dog eat dog. And
Right.
I do what I do to put food in my mouth and in my fiance's mouth, and you know. It says in the Bible, if a man don't work, he don't eat.
That's right.
And I try to stick with the faith. God doesn't promise us a lot. He promises a lot of things, but one thing he's only going to give you what you need.
Right.
And he's provided my needs, so I've got to be grateful and keep my head up about that.
That's right. Have you had any therapy on your son's situation?
No, because I've closed off to it and I haven't been ready to really talk about it too much.
Okay.
I'm getting to the point where I'm more open about it now.
Okay.
But since 2023 till now, I've been pretty closed off to it.
Right. I don't blame you. That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yes, sir, it is.
And for you to just even be talking about it right now, I commend you for that.
Thank you.
For you to keep things alive, like just keep your life going, I commend you for that. Because that's, like I said, that's a hard pill to swallow, and I don't think anybody is ready for that type of situation.
No, there ain't. I don't care who you are. I don't care how strong you are. You can be Donald Trump. I don't care who you are. You lose a child, it's going to devastate you. It's the matter of how strong you are and what situation you're in that you can deal with it. With me being an addict and an alcoholic for many years, I gave drinking up before I was 33 when I quit drinking.
Okay.
But when I relapsed, I replaced alcohol with crack cocaine.
Okay.
And I've been battling that since. And that's even a worse battle.
Right. Do you feel like you just use drug to mask the pain that you're dealing with?
It's not the drug. The way I look at it is I've come to the realization that me being an addict is because of the fact that it's not the drugs that's the problem. The problem is the drugs are my solution.
Okay.
And what I mean by saying that is it's what numbs me, because there's something about me that I need to change that makes me want to use, because I'm not ready to face things that are my own demons and shit that I need to work on.
Oh, wow.
It's not the drugs problem. There's a problem with me, and I'm just not ready to work on it.
Do you know what the problem is?
It could be many things.
Okay.
It could be the way I think. It could be the people I'm around. It could be my situation. It could be the fact that I'm trying to mask the pain of my son. It could be, again, it could be me trying to cover up childhood sexual abuse. It could be multiple things. It could be the fact that I did 7.5 years in prison and I'm still out here fighting. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I could be masking a lot of things. It could be 100 different things. My problem is I'm just not ready to quit yet, because I just haven't hit a point yet where I'm ready to quit, because I'm too scared to quit, because every time I have quit, I've relapsed. So
Right.
I feel like, why try if I know I'm gonna fail?
It happens though, brother. Like relapse it's almost like some people don't, but majority do.
Yeah, I've had 4 relapses in a year.
Right. And I would say just keep trying, bro.
I just try to make it every day, man.
Yeah, just keep trying. When you're ready, you will know.
Yeah. When I pray to God about it all the time, and you know what? I don't have to quit to make my relationship with God, because guess what? God's gonna work that out when it's on His time, when He's ready for me to get through that.
That's right.
So I just keep my faith in God. I notice that each time I stay sober, it's gonna be like, yeah, I've noticed it's longer and longer, but I still relapse.
Right. And you're not a bad person because you're on a drug. So we can go ahead and just say that on the camera, because
Yeah.
a lot of people frown people that's on drugs, or they look at them a certain type of way.
Yeah, we can categorize. We get, oh, he's a thief. Oh, he's gonna steal my stuff because of the fact that he's got history with this, or oh, he's this way, or he doesn't want to get a job because of the fact that he's this way, or because of that. No, that's not new. Actually, matter of fact, the more people look down on me, the more it makes me want to use, because it makes me feel like I'm a bad person, like I'm useless, like I'm a nobody,
Oh wow.
and I am somebody.
That's
I'm
right.
James Michael McCoy.
That's right.
But society and this new generation's been taught that means nothing. Because you got money or you got materialistic things, that makes you better than me. No, and a lot of people here in Raleigh look at it that way. Oh, because I got money. Oh, because I got this. Oh, because I got that. You can be on the streets downtown asking for food, and they're gonna walk by you
Wow.
like you would nobody. You just gonna be standing still.
And that has happened to you before?
Many times, many times.
Wow. How did it make you feel?
Useless, hopeless. Part of me felt like maybe it was suicide was an option,
Wow.
and I'm not suicidal, but the thought was there.
Mm.
It's devastating.
Wow, man. Let's talk about let's just run through your childhood and get to right now. Did you grow up in a 2-parent household?
No. My mom left when I was a year old to become a lesbian and shoot drugs. I
Wow.
died 3 times when I was a baby due to drug use and drug problems in my system. My dad was a single dad of 3 kids for many years. My dad was a wonderful father when I was younger until he met my stepmother, and I don't care what my dad says to this day. My dad still chose the woman over his kids.
Oh wow.
And ran all of us kids off by the age of 16. I was out of the house. One of my sisters made it to college. The other sister made it to 13 to go move with my mom. I didn't get to re-meet my mom until I was 16. Had a lot of anger issues. Spent a lot of time in psych wards and state hospitals. At 18, I went to prison.
Wow. So
And I was in and out of prison pretty much my whole 20s for 7.5 years.
do you believe because your mom wasn't in your life, that kind of changed your life a bit?
Majorly. Because my mom wasn't there to protect me when I was getting abused by my stepmom, because my dad, was too busy when he was younger. He was too busy about making the money that he was his family.
Wow. And what do you mean by you was getting abused by your stepmom?
My stepmom would smack me around for no reason. I'd come home from school. I'd have to stand there for hours at the doorway with my backpack on, get smacked around, get yelled at. I've had to sit in chairs over cat boxes for hours and hours on end.
Wow.
My stepmom has put cat litter inside of my dresser drawers and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I used to get grounded for 6 months to a year to my bedroom with nothing but clothes and a book in a single wide mobile home trailer. So pretty much I grew up to be raised to be penitentiary.
Right.
So when I was 18, I went to the pen up in Maine State Prison. It was like a second home to me. It was where I was comfortable.
What did you go to prison for?
I went to prison for a couple of different things: breaking and entering, strangulation charge, home invasion, couple OUIs, operating under the influence of alcohol. Became a habitual offender. Lost my license 15 years. Did a 4-county police chase.
Wow. And they gave you 7 years?
Altogether, I did 7.5 years.
Wow. That's a lot of time,
I
bro.
made 3 trips.
And you didn't get to graduate high school?
I never graduated high school, never got a GED. When I was moved to my aunt's house to get sober from alcohol when I was 32 in 2002, my uncle at the time had worked for a college, Tennessee College Applied Technology, and there was a new course coming up which was called Power Sports. It was for ATVs, motorcycle, and marine.
Okay.
And that's something I grew up riding ATVs, dirt bikes. It's just secondhand to me. My dad's a senior master mechanic for Ford.
Okay.
And I applied for the government stuff, and I got all my loans, and I got to go to college, and I walked out of college with a 4.0 last semester, being homeless in a 10, with an overall yearly grade of a 3.8.
Wow.
and graduated college and a college grad. Can't do anything with it now.
Wow. So let's talk about that. So you can get in college without a high school diploma.
I managed to, yes, because it was a technology school.
Okay. And like, how did you was able to do it? Did you have to like pass a test or?
I applied for the college and I applied for FAFSA, which is a government loan, which as long as you pass your courses every month, they'll pay for your schooling, and then you get the money left over to reinvest into school supplies and stuff like that.
Okay.
And what did I have to lose?
And where did you go to school at? Here in North Carolina, or was that in Maine?
No, I actually went to college in Hohenwald, Tennessee for Tennessee College of Applied Technology, TCAT.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting, bro. I didn't know you can do that.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like, you got a lot of these people downtown here in Raleigh that are, driving these Ferraris and, all this other stuff and got these $150,000, $200,000 cars, college grads and stuff like that. But what they don't realize is just because I'm homeless and I'm struggling right now and going through some stuff, I'm a college grad too. So what makes me any lower class than you?
Right.
I've still tried and tried and tried. I keep getting up, dusting myself off, and I keep making it.
Right. You're just going through some things.
We all go through things, and a lot of people today, they need to remember one thing. Y'all are one paycheck away from being in my shoes.
That's right.
One paycheck away.
I definitely agree. Because it's hard out here. And the inflation is crazy.
Oh, it's horrible.
And a lot of these jobs are not even paying enough to survive off of.
No, because nowadays you can be making $14 an hour, working 60 hours a week. But this is the thing. If you have an $800 apartment, you got to make 4 times that to get it qualified for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a credit check you got to go through. You got a felony check you got to go through. Like, there's too many damn hoops to jump through. We got a president right now that's been convicted of a felon who's turning this country around. But why is felons still being looked at? Because if somebody in the highest figure in the United States can be convicted of a felony, why are you going to jump somebody else at Burger King or McDonald's or, packing trailer trucks at a factory or something? Why are you going to look down on them because they got a factory? Because they got a felony?
That's right. Well, let's do this. If you could tell the government something right now about homelessness, about anything you might be going through, what would you tell them?
Help us with more support for us to get access to be able to get back on our feet. There's a lot of us out here that are homeless that we don't have the help or resources to get IDs. Yes, we can get paperwork and stuff like that, but there's still all these hoops we have to jump through that are hard for us because we're not in a authority figure. If y'all could just provide or help people get better IDs and give them more help to get into jobs, a lot of us wouldn't be out here.
Right. And especially if you had an ID before.
If I had an ID, I'd already be working. But I've been fighting since December to try to get an ID, and I haven't been able to get anywhere except for handed a piece of paper saying go to the DMV. I went to the DMV. Well, they're requiring a piece of letter that has my name and all this stuff on it. Well, I ain't got no address here in North Carolina. I don't have anything here in North Carolina with my name on it. I moved up here when I was homeless. I moved up here homeless. I only came up here because my oldest son's here.
Wow. They don't even give you like a paperwork that says you're homeless, and it kind of bypasses.
No, because the DMV is still requiring, some sort of phone bill or medical bill or, electricity bill, rent
something
bill.
With your name on it.
Something that's legal mail with my name on it, and I don't have any of that.
Wow. Man, it's always something, ain't it?
And that's what makes it harder and harder for us to get on our feet. And there's a lot of us that people wonder why we're just giving up. Everybody's giving up on us.
Right. Okay, in closing, and I hate to end this interview because you're speaking a lot of good points, man. And I think this is a video that needs to go viral. People needs to hear what you're saying. If any kids that might be watching this that possibly might be going through some of the things you went through as a child, what would you say to them motivational wise?
Don't make the same mistake I did. When I was 18, I had a recruiter and I was supposed to go to the Army. And I promise you, one of the worst mistakes I ever made was not going. Get up. If y'all don't know what y'all are going to do at 16, 17, 18 years old, go serve 4 years. Do your 4 years. It's only 4 years of life. 4 years go by quick. I'm 36 and I'm 6 years have gone by like it's nothing. If I would have went to the military, I would have gotten my ass straightened out. I would have been able to go to college for free. I still would have got benefits today. You know, it would have put me on a better track to be more successful than where I am today.
That's right. I definitely agree with you. If anybody wanted to contact you, help you out, do you have any social media sites? Do you have any cash apps, anything like that?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully the next time we run into you, maybe you have some of that stuff in place. The next time we do an update video with you. We want to stay in contact with you, brother. I like your story, man. You done been through a lot of stuff, brother, and you're still standing. So that's what means the most. All right, man. Thank you for doing the interview. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.